iPhone 7 Plus, now the cheapest, big-screen iPhone. The iPhone 7 Plus is no longer Apple's flagship smartphone, it actually sits at the bottom of the firm's handset range, but it remains a popular choice as it can now be called a cheap iPhone. It runs the latest software in iOS 12, has a fingerprint sensor home button and retains the aluminum finish that some iPhone fans prefer. Apple's iPhone 7 Plus is more than just a bigger iPhone 7, it's a markedly better version. Why is the iPhone 7 Plus better? Two reasons other than the bigger screen size, improved battery life and an innovative camera. Battery is always going to be better on a bigger phone, given the larger capacity, but the camera was a surprise. Apple added a dual-camera lens, a conscious effort to make the iPhone 7 Plus a distinctly different choice. There are also new color configurations, more space to throw in your media and apps, and changes to the internals. We lose the headphone jack, but gain a new kind of vibrating motor. As we said in our iPhone 7 review, there are many similarities between 2016's iPhones and the 6S Duo, and while the iPhone 7 Plus may be the better of the two new iPhones, it hasn't exactly moved on in leaps and bounds from the iPhone 6S Plus. With the arrival of the new iPhone XS, iPhone XS Max and iPhone XR, those looking for the latest and greatest from Apple can skip the 7 Plus, but for the budget-conscious buyer who wants a fingerprint scanner and doesn't mind a bit of bezel, the iPhone 7 Plus is still a top offering. At launch, the iPhone 7 Plus price started at $769, £719, $1,229 for the entry-level 32GB model and $869, £819, $1,419 for the 128GB variant. It also offered a 256GB iPhone 7 Plus, but this particular model has now been discontinued. With the arrival of newer generations of iPhone, the iPhone 7 Plus price has dropped, and it can now be picked up for $569, £569, $929 in its 32GB guise. Meanwhile, the 128GB iPhone 7 Plus price is down to $669, £669, $1,099. The iPhone 7 Plus is still widely available from Apple directly and from major retailers and carriers around the world. It's easy to tell the iPhone 7 Plus apart from its predecessors, as it's the only iPhone to sport two cameras on its rear. Aside from the bulkier camera block, lack of a headphone port, more on that in a minute, and a couple of new colors though, Apple's stuck with exactly the same design that served it well for its previous two iPhone iterations. If you've owned, or are familiar with, the iPhone 6 Plus or 6S Plus, then you'll know exactly what the iPhone 7 Plus looks like. The rounded corners, aluminum frame and minimalist styling means the iPhone 7 Plus retains its premium status, and with the introduction of new black and jet black colors, fans have two new ways to show their dark side. More recently, Apple introduced a special edition red version of the iPhone 7 Plus, and iPhone 7. In partnership with the Global Fund to support HIV/AIDS programs and help deliver an AIDS-free generation.